Hey everybody, Qroo here. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be pushing your Spanish just a little bit further. Doesn't matter if you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Well, advanced, well, there may be something here for you. Might want to stick around. And I'm going to be doing that with the YY drill. Let's talk about just briefly when we talk about levels in Spanish, because I have people and they're like, Paul, give me a beginner Spanish sentence. Oh, now give me an intermediate, give me an advanced. And it's not like these are isolated concepts in Spanish. Like I have the basket over here with just basic sentences. Oh, now you're intermediate? Oh, everything changed. I'm a second basket. It doesn't work that way. The difference between absolute beginner and intermediate and advanced is just the complexity of that original sentence and how much better you can express yourself. And a good way to understand that concept and push yourself at the same time is to use the YY drill. How does it work? Well, we start with a very simple sentence in Spanish. And here's one. I study Spanish. Go ahead and translate that. You'll be translating a lot today, okay? So just prepare yourself. I study Spanish. Estudio español. Did you get that one? It's not too tough, right? Now we come out with our first why. ¿Por qué? Why do I study Spanish? And this is where our sentence will get more complex. And if you're doing a YY drill on your own, you're going to have to fill in, the rest of that. Why do I study Spanish? And it could be a variety of reasons. Now, at this point, I'm actually going to give you a sentence. So, we're going to keep everybody on track. I study Spanish to communicate better with my in-laws. That got a lot more complex quickly, right? So we move from beginner into that intermediate almost right away by pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. So go ahead and translate that. Are you ready? Estudio español para comunicarme mejor con mis suegros. Did you get that? Something like that. Did you remember to use para in there? I study Spanish for what purpose? To communicate, in order to communicate. So this is where our next por qué comes in. I study Spanish to be able to communicate better with my in-laws because they don't speak English. Go ahead and do that. The beginning should be really easy, right? You already done it. Are you ready? Estudio español para comunicarme mejor con mis suegros porque no hablan inglés. You like the way this drill works? It's kind of fun, At this point, you can just turn off the video and go make your own sentences and challenge yourself all day. And if you don't know how to say something, go look it up. Work it out with a translator and be like, okay, I'm starting to see that pattern. Put it on your word list, remind yourself of it later, and push yourself to make your Spanish better. Now, for folks who want a little bit more guidance, let's go ahead and do 3 of them, okay? I'm going to give you sentences. They're going to get more complex, just like I showed you with the YY drill, and you can practice translation. I get up early every day. And notice I said I get up early, not I wake up. That's an important distinction. Ready? Me levanto temprano todos los días. Did you get that? Did you use levantarse for to get up? To wake up, despertarse, you can wake up and just lay in bed and not actually get out of bed. So that's the distinction. Now we throw out our first por qué. Why do I get up early every day? I get up early every day to avoid the traffic. This is where you translate. Remember, it's interactive. Are you ready? Me levanto temprano todos los días para evitar el tráfico. Did you get that? Para, right? That's the purpose of us getting up early every day is to what? Para, drop in an infinitive, evitar el tráfico. ¿Por qué? Why? I get up early every day to avoid the traffic because later there's always a lot of traffic. That might be a way to do it. I mean, you could really put anything there, but that's why we leave earlier, because later there's always a lot of traffic. So let's just do that. Did you get that? The ending wasn't too complex, right? Me levanto temprano todos los días para evitar el tráfico, porque más tarde siempre hay mucho tráfico. Uses a word I absolutely love in there, I, which means is there, are there. You could just drop in nouns after it. I could be like, hay tráfico, there's traffic. Hay fresas, there are strawberries. Hay mucho tráfico, there's a lot of traffic. I itself doesn't change, okay? It'll change in tenses, but in this tense, it's just, that's it. You don't have to conjugate it, just drop things in. All right, you ready for another one? I like to push folks a little bit, so we're gonna make this one more complex. Our simple sentence is going to start in the past tense. I sent you a message. Now there are a couple verbs for to send, enviar or mandar. We're gonna use mandar, okay? I sent you a message. Te mandé un mensaje. ¿Por qué? Why? I sent you a message so that you wouldn't worry. Now, it just got more complex, right? Possibly more complex than you realize, or at least some folks realize. So go ahead and work on that. I'll give you a little extra time. You're like, Paul, stop talking. Okay. Are you ready? Te mandé un mensaje para que no te preocuparas. Did you get that? We actually have a lot going on there. So we have our first part we didn't have to think about because we've already done it, right? Te mandé un mensaje. All right. For what purpose? Para, in order to, but there's a que in there. And then our conjugation of, preocuparse looks a little weird. Well, what's going on here is we have two different subjects. We have two clauses that are separated by para, but there are two subjects, so we have to change it a little bit. Our first clause is, I sent you a message. Who's the subject? I. So that, what? You wouldn't worry. So who's the subject of the second clause? You. So when we have a subject change, two different subjects is what I mean, in our clauses, we have to use para que plus subjunctive. Now when I say plus subjunctive, I mean that the verb that follows para que will always be conjugated in the subjunctive. You might be like, why, Paul? It just is. Now, if you have no idea what the subjunctive is, just think of it as a different set of conjugations that are triggered by certain grammatical constructions, and this is one of them, all right? It is the easiest way to learn the subjunctive because although we have it in English, it doesn't play much of a role. So you can't use your English to try to guess when you would use it in Spanish. So if you just break it down to little constructions, little patterns, triggers, you'll always know when to use it correctly. Now, if you want a head start on how to do that, I do have a guide with the most common subjunctive triggers. It's all in a pattern style. You can start dropping them into your Spanish right away. It'll show you how to conjugate as well. In the present subjunctive, and here we have the past subjunctive. It's all in here. This is a printed copy. I don't offer a printed copy for sale. Some people choose to print it. I do have a PDF that you can purchase. There's a link to that in the description section. Personally, I think a PDF is better because you get it immediately. You can also take these constructions and paste them right into an AI tutor, and ask the AI to help you, learn this and reinforce this. You can also paste sections into your word list or your flashcards. I just think it's a better way to do it. But I know some folks like the old-fashioned books, but I don't offer those, sorry. All right, let's get back to this. We're on to our second por qué, why. I sent you a message so you wouldn't worry because I was going to be late. Again, it's just little patterns all sucked together to make a more complex sentence. Go ahead. Are you ready? Te mandé un mensaje para que no te preocuparas porque iba a llegar tarde. Did you get that one? Had a lot going on in there, but again, just little patterns were all popping together. You want to do one more before we call it quits? Let's do one more. I turned off the music. Nice and simple, right? I turned off the music. Ready? Apagué la música. Apagué la música. Apagar means to turn off. Great one for your word list. ¿Por qué? Why did I turn off this music? I turned off the music so you could concentrate. Okay? Take a look at that sentence. So you could concentrate. That so in the middle, we're showing purpose. Looks like we have two subjects here. I think that's enough hints. You know what to do. You got this. Ready? Apagué la música para que pudieras concentrarte. Did you get that? We had two subjects. I turned off the music. That's our first clause. So you could concentrate. You are the subject to the second one. So we know it's para que plus subjunctive. Why? because it's a trigger. We don't have to think about it. It just is. And this whole para que plus subjunctive thing, of course, is covered in here. It's that important, folks, that important. Now onto our second por qué. I turned off the music so you could concentrate because I knew that you had to study. I never know what to do during these lulls. I should bring a book or work on emails or something. All right, you ready? Apagué la música para que pudieras concentrarte porque yo sabía que tenías que estudiar. Did you get that? Had a lot going on in there. We had our preterite to kick it off. We had the imperfect in there. We had the imperfect subjunctive. But don't let this overwhelm you. Especially if you're a beginner and you see this, you're like, wow, that was pretty complex. It was. It started simple. You pushed yourself out of your comfort zone. But they're just patterns, just like para que plus subjunctive. Let's say you spent, 30 minutes learning it, going through drills, getting really comfortable with it. You can start popping that into your Spanish, and your Spanish just advanced like this. Boom, boom. Just focus on adding patterns to your Spanish, and you can see where to pop them together in all different circumstances. Well, I think that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, just do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. Just helps me with that whole YouTube algorithm thing. And until next time, hasta luego.